The Blue Jays just won their second game in a row against the Tampa Bay Rays in exciting fashion on the back of a Yusei Kikuchi dominant performance. So we'll break that down and much more in this episode of Jays Digest. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse, and another exciting win for the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, that's two in a row against a team that came into the Rogers Center undefeated, and back-to-back pretty convincing wins as well. So very, very good pitching performance out of the Blue Jays, and I just loved whatever I saw out of them today.
Yeah, what a game today. And coming into the series, you said it. If we win the first game, we're going to win at least 2 out of 3. And your prediction was very correct and on the potential of a sweep tomorrow. But what a game. Before we do into it, make sure to hit the like button. Your support's been unbelievable. And hit the subscribe button as well, as we're on the road to 7,000 subscribers. But let's get into it. The Jays beat the Rays. And before we get into some more specific stuff, let's just talk about the game and what we saw today. Peter, I'll pop up the box score here now. But overall, a very impressive game from the pitching, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But hitting-wise, also quite impressive against a team who has not been giving up very many runs to start the year. George Springer, of course, went hitless, but what did you see out of the hitting staff today that did good?
Yeah, I mean, the whole talk's been about the top of the order and how productive they've been throughout the entire season so far. But today it was the bottom of the lineup that manufactured those runs and all started with Alejandro Kirk and then Whit Merrifield. I mean, this team is just different when Kirk is locked in at the plate and he has been in the past couple of games. He's starting to swing it. You could tell that his bat wasn't really up to speed. He missed a lot of spring training games. Now he's starting to get back into the rhythm here, and the lineup is much better when he's hitting and hitting the ball to right field like he does usually. So it's just a great addition to have on this team. And when the bottom of the lineup is hitting like that, I mean, good luck trying to stop the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and you look here at the top of the lineup, like you said, only one hit from the top 4. And that was, of course, from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who laced a single. But, you know, on the bright side, a lot of walks today. George Springer had 2, Vladdy had 1, Chapman had 1, Kirk had 1. But like you said, when the bottom half is producing, and that's important for winning teams, the top of the order is always not going to be there. They're not always going to hit very well. When you have people like Alejandro Kirk, who, like you said, came off to a slow start this season simply because his spring training was shortened. But even Danny Jansen got on the board today. It was a very, very impressive day for the hitters. And I love seeing games like this where the bottom of the order gets going.
Yeah, and shout out to Danny Jansen as well. It's his birthday today, so got a couple hits for his birthday and got the win behind the plate as well. He's been managing the pitching staff very well, and I touched on it in the pregame show. His bat might not be there just yet. I have full confidence in him that he is going to hit for some power throughout the season, but the way that he's managed those pitchers and kept them steady with all those question marks coming into the season, I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit. He's been great defensively behind the dish, and very, very unsung hero of this staff here.
Yeah, and it was only a matter of time until both of the catchers got going, because both of them have been not very productive at the plate this season. But Kirk now is bringing his average up to almost over 250 and is looking very good. And touching on the pitching staff, what a game by Yusei Kikuchi. Unbelievable out of him. I'll pop up the box score here, and he has been unbelievable from the get-go, from the regular season and spring training as well, as he went 6 innings, just giving up 4 hits, 1 earned run, only walked 1, which is absolutely key, with 9 strikeouts. I have a video clip to show you here in a minute. But Peter, what did you see out of Yusei Kikuchi today that impressed you? And he's been so impressive to start the year.
That was his best outing as a Jay. There's no doubt about it. 6 innings, 94 pitches, 9 strikeouts. The guy was locked in today. It might have been the Kikuchi corner. I don't know what it was. Maybe he got a great night's sleep last night, but he just looked unbelievable on that mound today. He was convincing. His control was there. His cutter, his slider was working to perfection, and he was running it up there around 95, 96 with control on that fastball. He had those Rays hitters guessing all game long, and it was a great performance out of him.
Unbelievable. I'll pop up one of the clips now. You can just see his fastball is
swinging a bit.
He's pitching with so much more confidence, so much more swag. You
And another strikeout
in spring training all the way back a couple months ago, that you think the pitch clock has helped him, and it looks like it's helping him. Obviously, not much talk about the pitch clock anymore because people are starting to get used to it. But Kikuchi doesn't have to think too much about his pitches. He just goes, he pitches. He has electric stuff. Every single pitch was working for him today, and I'll pop this up one more time. But the pitch clock seemed to have helped him a lot, and his confidence is through the roof.
And that's a good point that you make there, because if there were no pitch clock today,
and another strikeout,
he necessarily couldn't put away those hitters early on in the game. We might still be watching, and he might not have been able to get into that 5th or 6th inning because his pitch count was pretty high. Those Rays hitters were having some tough at bats against him, and he battled. And And what did he do? He got the ball, he caught the ball, he got back on the rubber, and he was ready to throw the next pitch, which last year he probably would have waited 20 seconds or 30 seconds in between pitches and saying, how do I get this guy out? How do I put him away? But you don't have that time to think anymore. And he was just going right after these hitters and wasn't second guessing himself. And that's when he's at his best, when he has full confidence in his stuff.
Yeah, huge shout out to Yusei. And touching more on some of the other pitchers, we have Eric Swanson, who had 1 inning, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He battled tonight. His control wasn't there at all, but he was able to battle without giving up a run. Adam Simber went 1 inning and he gave up an earned run, but at the end of the day, it was a bit of a weird run on a ground ball from second, so he looked fine out there. And Jordan Romano wavered a bit, but he held the fort down with 1 out. Going 1 inning without giving up a run. And we just hope that Jordan Romano is okay. And what do you see out of Jordan Romano there that you like tonight? Obviously, he battles, but it's scary sometimes with him.
Yeah, he battles, but the Rays got a couple of like end of the bat hits. You know, they didn't necessarily square him up, so I'm not too worried. It just happens. It happens that way, and maybe defensive alignment has something to do with it as well. But he ended up closing it out, and he got his 6th save of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
6, yeah.
So he's probably leading the league right now,
He is,
and
AL.
he's looked very confident out there apart from that one outing, and it was just that one outing. That's why his ERA is a little bit inflated. That's why his advanced metrics don't look too great. It's because of that time when he gave up 3 earned runs against the Angels and blew that save. But he's going to be fine. He's the least of my worries in the bullpen, and the bullpen overall in the past couple of games has just been shut down, and they haven't given them any chance to get back into the game. Same thing with the Tiger series, and now carrying it over against the Rays. And it's going to be a tough one tomorrow with McClanahan on the mound. But the Jays already got this series wrapped up, and that's what we wanted coming in here. We wanted 2 out of 3, and they already gave us that. So tomorrow, whatever happens, I guess you could say it's a bonus.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, or I said earlier in the video, so far the series has been great. And winning 2 out of 3 coming into this series, a lot of Jays fans, most Jays fans, would consider that a win. But with a chance to sweep tomorrow, it's very, very good. And again, a shout out to the bullpen. Like you said, they've been absolutely shut down. And Jose Barrios pitched well yesterday as well. And if everyone can be pitching like this, Chris Bassett as well a couple days ago had a great start. If the pitching staff can continue to pitch like this, then it'll be very, very good going forward. And continuing on that a little bit is the defense impresses. And what a day from the defense, from even players who didn't make highlight plays like Bo Bichette. Varsho, which I'll pop up in a second, had a very good play. What'd you see out of the defense today? It's been absolutely stellar for the past, it seems like however many games I've been watching, but very impressive today, and that's what you have to do to beat teams like the Rays.
Yeah, I mean, the outfield has just been phenomenal all season long. Kevin Kiermaier, we've been pumping his tires ever since the first game when he was just looking routine out there against St. Louis, and that first home opener when he robbed the home run off of Kerry Carpenter. He's been great all year defensively. George Springer's been very good in right field as well. And now Dalton Varsho, he's had a couple of miscues with the sun and a couple of unlucky plays, but you're starting to see his true defensive value.
As well.
And look at this play right here. I mean, what a
Varsho coming on, and he
anticipation
makes the catch
out
in
of Dalton
left center
Varsho,
field.
taking that hit away. And that's huge for a pitcher like Kikuchi, for a pitcher like Barrios, because they need their defense behind them, and they tend to get hit hard every now and then. So if they have those guys in the outfield taking hits away, then it allows them to get into a rhythm, and it allows them to pitch deeper into ball games, which is something that they didn't have on their sides last year. So it's not sustainable for the pitching staff to have a 1.5 ERA throughout the rest of the season. That's not what we're expecting either. That's not what we want out of Jose Barrios and Yusei Kikuchi, but we want them to be around the strike zone. We want them to get their strikeouts and give the defense a chance to help them out. And that's what they've done in the past couple of starts. And anytime you pitch well, give your defense a chance to make plays, your offense is going to bail you out more often than not, because it's just that good.
Yeah, the defense is unreal in the outfield. Every ball it's hit, you feel like they're going to catch. And it's almost at a point now where when some bloopers fall in, like they did in the 9th inning against Jordan Romano, you're kind of shocked that no one made the play. Or if Kevin Kiermaier's one step behind, you're kind of shocked. And that's something we didn't have the luxury of having in the prior years, especially with, of course, players like Lourdes Gurriel and Teoscar, who aren't the best defensively. But just having Dalton Varsho and Kevin Kiermaier out there has made a huge difference. And I'm sure the pitchers feel it too, because a lot of the guys out there are doing so much better now and feeding off each other. Even Bo Bichette, he had a flawless game in defense today, making all of his throws, and it's very, very good. But that'll wrap up this game reaction. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. We'll be looking for a sweep tomorrow. We'll be live for our pregame show. It is in the afternoon. And also, hopefully Jordan Romano is okay after getting nailed to end the game there. But shout out to Jordan Romano. He's been very good. But thank you guys for all your support. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks.